Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2018 Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5. Now, RTR Vehicles is an American automotive company founded in 2009 that is involved in designing, developing and manufacturing performance vehicle packages for Ford's product line. And this is obviously based on the Mustang, and RTR stands for Ready to Rock. So this is basically a more track focused version of the Mustang GT, as it has a custom wide body kit which has side skirts, chin spoiler, rear diffuser, hood vents, new wheels and a modified rear spoiler, because in essence it does have the same kind of spoiler as the standard Mustang GT, but it now has this black strip, as you can see on the back there, that's slightly lifted up, which will provide extra downforce. And it also has wider tyres front and rear, and even though it is more track focused, it is still a road legal vehicle. Now, there are similarities between this and the standard Mustang, obviously. They're still both rear-wheel drive, and they still both share the same engine. So, still has the 5-litre Coyote V8, which produces 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, which is a decent amount of horsepower and torque, quite frankly. But sadly, because of all this extra bodywork and the wider tyres, it does weigh 122 pounds heavier than the standard Mustang GT, so it's slower in terms of acceleration and in terms of top speed because of that extra weight. Now granted, and not just in terms of the weight either, in terms of the extra downforce, so but granted, that's still a lot of power and still a lot of torque, and it's not massively slower than the standard GT. And what you get in return is a car that handles a lot better than the standard Mustang GT. It's a lot more fun to drive, and it's obviously more track focused, so it's ready to go on the track if you ever need to. And I actually think it actually looks better. It's a lot more striking to look at, and a lot more interesting to look at as well. And looks a bit more aggressive and a little bit more menacing. The standard GT is a nice looking car, but it does look on the whole a lot more plain compared to this. So I do like the look of it, and I do like how it's a lot more track focused. But even though it is more track focused, it still has the same interior, so it's still just as comfy, still just as got as many amenities as you'd expect, still got the rear seats, and it's even still got a rear boot. So plenty of practicality still on the go, but being more track focused means that it handles a lot better. And I think if you were to take this against the standard Mustang GT on a track against one another, the standard Mustang GT will probably have you on the straights a little bit, but this would out-corner it and out-brake it, quite frankly, I think. So, it's definitely a worthy compromise. But to see how worthy it is, let's get out onto the open road and see just what it can do. So yeah, like I said, same power and same torque. So yeah, weighing a little bit more, it's inevitably going to be slower, but not quite as slow as you'd expect, really, to be honest. 0 to 60 time of 4.915 seconds, which is 0.615 seconds down on the standard Mustang GT, and it will do 0 to 110.7 seconds, so that's 1 second down on the Mustang GT. So yeah, overall not quite as slow as you'd expect, and on the whole, because it can handle the power better, it's a lot more grippy in terms of the corners because of those wider tyres front and rear. You can use that power more often, and you can keep that speed up more often. So I think it's a definite worthy compromise, especially since it also looks a lot better, which isn't always the case for these kind of modifications that are out there with cars. Usually they don't look quite as good as this, but this one certainly does really look the part. And at the end of the day, you get a car that sounds as good as it did originally, and has the charisma that it did originally, with the added charisma of the better looks, while still being a fun car to drive, because you can still drift this thing if you so wish. You can still have some good old rear-wheel drive muscle car fun, but you can also be serious with it at the same time, and go around corners quicker than you would in the standard Mustang GT. And also, because it still has the same interior, the same practicality, it will be just as comfy, just as easy to use every day as the standard Mustang GT. So there's really no major downside to this outside of a slight acceleration decrease. Now granted, the top speed is slower as well. This will do 181, while the standard Mustang GT will do 191. But at the end of the day, when are you ever going to get up to that kind of speed? Certainly not on a public road, and there's not really that many tracks that have a long enough straight to really get up to that kind of speed, let alone with a car that only has 460 horsepower. So yeah, I really rather like this car. There's apparently other versions by RTR out there, various kind of specs, and they've even apparently done a faster version of a Ford F-150. So yeah, I do really rather like them, and yeah, you can pretty much look at RTR as, well, basically the AMG of of Ford. So yeah, I really do like it, and yeah, there are two drift versions of this that are also coming to this game that are already available on Forza Motorsport 7. That are supposed to be really rather fun to drive if you're into drifting. I'm personally not, so that's why I really rather like this version over the other two. But you have the choice, so yeah, go out and enjoy it. You have to get this via the summer season festival playlist. I'll just quickly show you. So basically this is part of a new update that came recently, so you have to do certain things to get the Mustang. You have to do 50% of it. So I've done like the Forza Run challenges, these PR stunts, and some championships, and yeah, basically you only have to get to 50% to get it. Also have to get the 100% to get that Porsche, which I really want, so that's what I'm working towards. But yeah, it's a really rather good car to get, and it's rewarding to get it as well, because it is a really rather fantastic car to drive. So well worth making the effort to get in it, quite frankly, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.